Kaptur.
I thank the chairman, and I thank Chairman Bernanke for his endurance. We all have to do our jobs. I would like to insert into the record information and background on the relationship between Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, and BlackRock. And
Without objection, so ordered.
I thank the chairman, and what I'd like to ask Chairman Bernanke to submit for the record from the Fed, how did Bank of America end up owning 49% of BlackRock? In 2004, the FBI warned the public and the administration mortgage fraud was headed toward an epidemic level in our country. The Fed did nothing. Now the Fed, under your watch, has hired BlackRock, a firm owned 49% by Bank of America, headed by a man who invented the subprime instrument when at first Boston and then later at BlackRock, who traded billions of dollars of these securities to Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae over the last decade. I quote a sentence and will place in the record from Bloomberg News. Bank's rocket-like rise when at first Boston was largely a result of his creative work with mortgage-backed securities, slicing and pooling mortgages and selling them as bonds, and he took his concept to Freddie Mac, where he sold the company's board on a billion-dollar package. That was just Chairman Bernanke, what material can you provide this committee that will explain how the Fed will avoid conflicts of interest and self-dealing by that firm and its CEO in the execution of contracts you have signed with BlackRock?
We'll provide you with the contracts and with a letter explaining how it works.
Lawyers have said systemic roll fraud have characterized the mortgage securitization process. Will you permit the FBI access to the mortgage instruments being managed by BlackRock as the Fed contracts are executed and fulfilled?
If there's a reason for the FBI to investigate, and the FBI has a right to investigate, we would not stand in the way of an appropriate investigation.
Thank you. How many contracts has the Fed signed with BlackRock to handle Freddie Mac paper and Fannie Mae mortgage securities under your purview, and how much will BlackRock be paid for those services?
We've hired 4 asset managers to manage our mortgage-backed securities portfolio. BlackRock is one of them. I don't know how much we're paying them.
Will BlackRock be handling Freddie Mac paper?
They'll be managing GSE guaranteed paper, so that would include Freddie, Fannie, and Ginnie.
I would seriously urge your staff to go back and look at the operations of BlackRock and Mr. Fink's operations at First Boston before he founded BlackRock.